Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be my second creepy tale video. In honor of Annabelle, the movie coming out October the 3rd, I think it's coming out. Annabelle is, as you may remember if you saw The Conjuring, it's the Raggedy Ann doll in the beginning of the movie. Well, the real story of Annabelle is that two nurses, Donna and Angie, had an apartment, and Angie's boyfriend Lou lived in the apartment, was staying with them. Donna, the story differs. It might have been for her birthday, it might have been for Christmas. Anyway, her mother found an oversized Raggedy Ann doll and gave it to Donna, thinking it would be a nice present. Well, at first, Annabelle, the Raggedy Ann doll, would sit on Donna's bed and she would fold her arms and just do tiny little movements here and there. Nothing major, just a little bit strange. Well, it didn't stop like that. Annabelle started to move from room to room. She was found, they came in one day and they found dear Annabelle standing up, leaning on a dining room chair. They came in another day and found Annabelle kneeling on a chair by herself. And they had tried to make the doll lean on the chair, and they could never make it do that. So Lou, the boyfriend who lived with them at the time, said that doll is evil. We need to get rid of this doll. Well, Annabelle the doll decided she didn't like Lou. She kind of tormented Lou. One day, Lou and Angie were sitting around going over maps for a trip they were going to take, and they heard a lot of scuffling in Donna's room where Annabelle the doll was supposed to be sitting. So Annabelle the doll, Lou walked in there after the scuffling stopped, and he saw Annabelle the doll sitting in a heap in the corner. So he started to approach the doll, and all of a sudden, from behind him, something grabbed a hold of him. And he saw these scratch marks going down and across his back. But he had Annabelle in his line of sight. Creepy, creepy, creepy. Also, the girls would come home in the evenings or when they were done with school, and they would find little parchment paper with little notes written on it, like "Help me" or "Help Lou." Well, Donna says there was no parchment paper in the house. They don't know how these little notes were written in childlike script. Anyway, Lou wasn't having it. So one night, Lou's laying in the bed, and it could have been a dream. Lou says it wasn't a dream. Annabelle started crawling up under the covers and started to choke Lou. Well, Lou woke up and he wasn't happy. Anybody wouldn't be happy. But it escalated from there. They came in one day and they thought what they saw was little blood drops on Annabelle's chest and on her hands, I think. So they contacted a medium, and the medium came and said Annabelle was, this differs two different ways. Annabelle was found in the field dead that the apartment was built on, or Annabelle died in a traffic accident right outside the apartment. But the thinking is that a child spirit of a little girl, God would not allow that spirit to come into a doll, to be entombed in a doll. So it had to be a demon attached to that doll. And this is just the story. I'm not professing any personal beliefs here. So after all of this, Donna contacted an Episcopalian priest who brought the Warrens into the situation. Now, Ed and Lorraine Warren are very popular. You know, they did the Amityville Horror investigation, the Entity. No, they didn't do the Entity, but they're just well-known paranormal investigators. Well, Ed Warren has since passed away, and it's just Lorraine Warren. And she's quite elderly at this point, but if you saw The Conjuring, you'll know who Ed and Lorraine Warren are. Well, Ed and Lorraine Warren came to investigate the Annabelle haunting or possession or whatever you want to call it. So they asked, or Donna asked them, if they would take Annabelle back to their haunted, they have a haunted room where they keep their haunted objects. I guess you could call it like a haunted museum. Well, anyway, Annabelle, the Raggedy Ann doll, is behind a case, is in a case, so you can't touch her. They won't let anyone touch her. So Annabelle, the last part of the Annabelle story is that Ed was giving a young couple a tour of his museum at his home where Annabelle was kept. The young man and the woman, his girlfriend I suppose, were riding on a motorcycle. The young man went over to the Annabelle doll and tapped on it and kept saying, "Annabelle, do your worst to me, do your worst." Well, this upset Ed Warren, so he asked the young man to leave. So the young man and the woman left on the man's motorcycle and went head on into a tree, and the young man died. He was dead within 3 hours of mocking Annabelle. So I'm quite excited to see the new Annabelle movie come out next week to see how it's portrayed. I know from reading the spoilers that it's going to be a lot different than the true story, but it should be a pretty good story anyway.